Come on, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Coach Brown checking in for episode 6 of the UnCut Show. So, as you guys can see, it's just me. Donnie has some technical difficulties tonight with his audio, so he's working on that. Hopefully, he'll be joining us soon. Um, so yeah, we're gonna push through. You know, we got to keep rolling, rocking and rolling. So hopefully, Donnie can get up in here sooner than later. Keep working on it, Donnie. But tonight, I won't waste no time. You know what I mean? Because we got a very special guest in the waiting room, ready to join us. Fellow podcaster and online influencer and all those things that you can imagine. But nobody can introduce themselves better than themselves. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and welcome Jae Slay to the show. Let's go.
Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
how are you today?
I am doing great. I'm doing amazing. Besides all the technical difficulties.
Yeah, I know. I was having some technical difficulties myself, so
Mm.
it's definitely annoying. Can't, one thing about technology, it's unpredictable.
Now, listen, like when I was putting this together, I'm like, oh, Jay Slay's coming on. Is that the name that you go by? You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't know, because I know, you know what I mean, a couple different. So,
Yeah. So I I mean, I'm fine with people going by my actual name. My name is Jocelyn.
okay.
I go by the stage name of Jae Slay, or like a lot of people just call me Jay because it's easier than remember Jocelyn. And especially because a lot of people like playing with me and call me Jocelyn Hernandez. And I don't like that. That ain't me, you
Oh,
know?
snap. Yep.
But yeah, so my name is Jocelyn. I go by the stage name of Jae Slay. That is the brand that I represent and that I had created. I am a mom turned hairstylist turned advocate turned, I don't know, entrepreneur all around. And I am specifically in business catering to natural hair. And I decided, through being a stylist, we are like the unconventional therapist. And I decided to go ahead and create the podcast because I have dope conversations with a lot of my clients. And, it's real life conversations and different perspectives. And, you know, it just motivated me to really get those perspectives out there because a lot of people tend to lean more one way or the other rather than looking at the in between.
Mm.
That's a great synopsis for me.
Okay. Okay. Now, when I saw the name of your podcast, I was like, oh, I like how she put perspective in there because that's really
Yeah.
what it is. Because when I
Yeah.
watched a few of your episodes, I said, wow, she's really bringing a perspective that I think lives inside of some conversations, but I don't think
Yep.
anybody's bringing that perspective, to the forefront. At
Yep.
least, at the at the local level and then growing outward. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure you probably caught some slack for some of your positions.
Yeah. I guess so. I absolutely get subbed. I've been called throughout my career, even before I started my podcast. So, like, I would be very vocal in a lot of conversations amongst people, or if I do, go on someone else's live and have their, the conversation or whatever. I've gone live a few times on my own personal page, but I've caught it all. Coon, I've caught Pick Me, I've caught. Uh, I don't even really pay it mine anymore.
Hmm.
I am very thoroughly I'm just very, very big on being your most authentic self. And with being your most authentic self, you are going to go against what is considered the norm. And, I'm okay with that because essentially I have no quarrels saying what most people are thinking, anyways. They just won't say it out loud.
Hmm. Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So let's dive into some of that. Hold on, let me open up the chat, see who's in here. Again, Donnie might be joining us soon, so we're gonna keep our fingers crossed for Donnie. But let's dive into some of that because originally, right? I told my boy Donnie, I'm like, yo, my friend Jae Slay is coming to the show. She used to do
Mhm.
my hair. Da, da. He's like, how
Mhm.
do you know this girl? I said, oh, when I had
Right.
longer hair, she used to do my hair. Da da da.
Yep.
He's like, oh,
Yep.
is she gonna be able to like carry a conversation? I'm like, dude, she got her own podcast. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, when I went to get my hair done, you know what I mean? It would take an hour, 2 hours. I was like, she
Yep.
carried the conversation the whole time. I said, you know me, I could talk, but she was driving the
Mhm.
bus. You know what I mean? So I already knew that you could be on the podcast and do your thing. Oh, Sierra in the
Right.
building. What's going on? True 401. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for
Hey.
joining in. Um, so let's talk about some of the things that inspired you to start the podcast. Like, what are some of the conversations that you think need to be had that aren't being had? And maybe you could bring some of those perspectives that you shared on your podcast to this podcast, and we could build on it.
Okay. First and foremost, the biggest conversation I feel as though that needs to be had, that's not being had enough, even though it's starting to catch a lot of light these days, is essentially the divide within the Black community.
Mm,
um and it's not even like a divide that was created per se, as like, how people love saying about oppressors and things of that nature. It's the divide that we create through segregation amongst ourselves in our own community, especially when we talk about the divide between the Black man and the Black woman. That's
mm.
the biggest focal point of what it is I'm really like touching on the most.
Okay.
um and then I would also say, yeah, really, it has to do with relationships. It has to do with conflicting. Like, that's the biggest things for me, I would
Okay.
say.
And then what do you notice? Because one of the things that come up a lot when I'm talking to, like, my dudes or people that come to me and they're like, oh, I need help in this area. When it's around relationships, it seems as though from everything I've seen that the
Hmm.
dynamic between men and women have changed so much that both
Yes.
men and women are lost and connected with each
Yes.
other. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I know dudes that are like, yo, I want to settle down. Like, I want one girl. I
Hmm.
want this. I want that. Like, dudes is really thinking that now. But now
Yeah.
it's like it's hard to find a girl who wants that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, so it's almost like tables have flipped. You know what I mean?
Thanks to the feminist movement. That's
Mm,
the easiest. That's the easiest answer to it. Like, I've been telling a lot of people, especially a lot of streams that I've been attending, and like coming on the platform. I've been explaining to a lot of people that we are now in a position where we are seeing the how can I put this? Like, the overall, um wow, it's not coming to my mind. But like, so obviously the feminist movement was created and started, to gain a momentum to go towards a certain cause, right?
mhm.
And now we are seeing, like, the why isn't this coming? Um we're seeing, like, the results of it, essentially, is where I'm trying to get at. There's a better term for it, specifically geared to this conversation, but we're essentially seeing the results of what the feminist movement has been, unfolding. It's coming all to light that we can actually see the results of it. So when you think of like the concept of I guess you could say scientific research and theories. You can have a theory, a hypothesis, but through trial and error, then you gain results. And through those results, you can formulate the conclusion whether or not the hypothesis matches up with the results.
Mm. Okay.
So the start of the feminist movement in the 1960s, that's Generation X, which is, my parents and a lot of our parents. They were fed this ideology, and now the ideology is coming back full circle. So now we're finally able to see, what came of this ideology
Mm.
in real time.
And what
Yeah.
when you say what came of the ideology, obviously I know that speaks to what I just mentioned, but
Hmm.
I feel like we're still in it. So when I ask this, I'm
Yeah, we are.
saying, yeah, where do you think it? What do you think has come from it, and then what do you
Hmm.
think stands to come from it if we don't,
Get
uh,
it together.
yeah, like wake up to like what's actually happening. You know what I mean?
Wake up, smell the coffee, and really, like, try to go in panic mode to get things done. That
Hmm.
pressure. Um, so as I stated, 1960 was the first wave. A lot of people don't even know that there's four waves of the feminist movement. So the first wave, I actually have the video dropping tomorrow on my podcast that really goes over everything in depth. But the quickest synopsis of it I could give is the first wave, you have it started from the 1960s to the 1990s. Second wave happened from the 1990s up until 2000. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm off. I'm sorry. The first wave of feminism, the feminist movement, I'm sorry, was centered around the women's suffrage movement.
Mm,
Um, and that was from the late 19th century, so the late 1800s up until the 1960s. Okay. Then you have the second wave. The second wave, my apologies, is the 1960s to the 1990s. From the 1990s to the 2010s, that's the third wave. And right now, what we are currently seeing with, the trans exclusivity, the queer sexuality, we have the body positivity, and how it's being digitally pushed. That's part of the fourth wave, and that's what we are currently in.
mm.
So through Generation Z, by the time they approach, their 30s, going into 40s, so on and so forth, they will be like seeing the end results of the fourth wave. So for us to say that we can cycle back completely is we're not going to see it in our lifetime.
Yeah, we're too
However,
far removed. Yeah.
yeah, like we're too like I was born in the third wave. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Like literally, as soon as the third wave started, that's where I was born. So we're not going to see the full cycle until my generation hits like about 60, and that's for the third wave, let alone the fourth wave. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yep. Yep.
It's sad. It really is.
Now with you being a female, right? Um,
Hmm.
what what do you see amongst females? Like, is it a large majority that are like, nah, like Jay, get out of here with that stuff, man, like da da da,
Yeah,
or they like
absolutely.
really okay. So most of them aren't in on that conversation.
So giving me pushback, and the only ones that I can say that understand my logic and actually agree with my logic and stance on this would be like the women that I would say already has kids, already went through a lot of toxicity, and are essentially really looking for peace and stability right now.
Mm.
Those are the ones that can really understand what it is because they already went through the chaos and confusion.
Oh, Donnie's in the house. Let's see if we can hear him. Donnie, are you there?
I am here.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Welcome to the show.
Woo!
Let's go. Game time.
Yes. Hi.
So yeah, I'll
Hi.
introduce you guys. This is Donnie Rhodes. This
Hold
is
on.
Jay
I'm just
Slay
trying to do
with
one
Jocelyn.
thing real quick. Wait
Okay.
one
I
sec.
see you
One
super
sec.
focused down there. But all right, let's go here because you just you mentioned a word that I wanna travel off of because I was just having this conversation with someone the other day. So I think it'd be great if
Hmm.
we all build on it. Um, toxic masculinity. Um, all right, so you chuckled. You got it. I don't even think I have to ask my question. Um, what do you think about toxic masculinity? And do you think this is a real thing, or is this another thing where they just slap a label on it and then force feed, like shove it down your throat until everybody falls
Well,
in line?
everything in America is, labeled and forced down someone's throat, whether we like it or not, because, apparently America, we have nothing but labels. Um, I would say that toxic masculinity is something because anything can be toxic. Just like in my perspective with the feminist movement, you know, at some point, too much power can become corrupt.
Mhm.
And when we think of too much power becoming corrupt, that is where we lead to toxicity, right? Now, to backpedal off that and bring that over to toxic masculinity, there are some extremes when it comes to what is deemed as masculinity. You know what I mean? Because we have to understand power control is something that's real, and also abuse of power. I mean, power trips are a real thing, and abuse of power essentially go hand in hand because it's all the same. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm gonna speak, to that anecdotally. I would say that a lot of women deem patriarchy as toxic masculinity, whereas patriarchy and toxic masculinity is really two different things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Or would you say that would you say well, I think that the stance a lot of them would take is that the patriarch system, due to all the power it embodied, became toxic. You know what I mean?
No.
But I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't, I
No.
don't, I don't buy that logic.
It's what the thing is that people are all right, so it's so much to unpack with this, but in hindsight, or like, quickly, um in a bird's eye view, what they deem to be toxic masculinity is European white masculinity, because we have to understand that a lot of times people are not starting, black civilization from BC era. They're starting from 1619.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you start from 1619, you're basing it on slavery with masters. Now, the ideology that the masters carried, that would be deemed as toxic masculinity. However, patriarchy is part of a hierarchy, and hierarchies is what instills order, discipline, and structure. So, men leading is something that's been happening for centuries, and that's how we've built civilizations. That's how we built cities, towns, and neighborhoods. That's how we have all these things that we utilize, in
Yep.
today's age.
Okay.
So to say that patriarchy is the problem, no. It's the power trip and, the abuse that can come with, what is deemed as toxic masculinity, that can be an issue. But we also need to talk about toxic femininity, if that's the case, because there's always duality and everything comes with polarity.
Hmm. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
my
For
opinion.
sure. Donnie, what you want to say, man?
Man, it's good to be here. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Well, I'm glad
uh,
you're here, Donnie.
oh man, it was a rough journey. I went through 3 mics and I'm here. So
Nice.
I don't know
Hey,
what
so,
was going
oh
on,
yeah,
but
I see you switched up the mic. So
yeah,
Donnie, let me let
yeah.
me let me catch you up on
All
what
right, yeah, cool.
we've been talking about. Obviously, do you want me to say Jay or Jocelyn?
Jay, it doesn't matter.
I always
It
get
doesn't
stuck.
matter.
All right, so Jay came
Yeah,
through.
it's whatever you want to call me.
Jay came through. She let us know, about her journey and what she's doing.
Yep, yep.
And then also we started the conversation of men and women, and she dove into the feminist movement,
Hmm.
how there was four waves of it, and how
Yep.
we're right now we're seeing the results in society
Of
of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah.
Um, so that's where we're at right now. We're just talking about the dynamic of men and women, because I think that how can I put it? Men and women got to get back to a space
Yes.
that's not so competitive. Like right
Mm.
now, men and women are designed to complement each other, but we've been
Mhm.
programmed to compete with each other. Like everything is,
Yes.
is competitive. And
Hmm.
because we're competitive, we forgot about our complementary nature. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And how we seamlessly complement each other by design. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Tony's like, yeah.
He's like,
It's
I'm
touch.
with
That's
it.
I'm with it, but it's touchy. Like it's that's hard, you know.
But hey, we're the uncut show. We got to go in. You
No,
know what I
I
mean?
get it. Yeah, I'm not afraid to offend anybody. I don't really know where I would go with that. I mean, I could speak of my relationship. I mean, we're pretty equal. I mean, you know, we came together because we're in love, but I don't think we don't put each other over each other. We're just kind of like, we're just going through this journey together. Like, there's certain things that she's better at than I'm not, and better at certain things than she's not. So it's kind of like we complete, we help each other out when we have our own weaknesses. So, I can say, for example, she's very good with money management. I'm not. I mean, you know that.
Yeah, yeah. You're like,
um,
we're gonna get these
so
mics. You're like, let me ask you.
yeah, she'll pick up where I struggle, and then I'm pretty good with, like, well, for example, directions and like navigation and stuff like that. I can figure out how to get places where she kind of, she doesn't. She struggles with maps and stuff like that. So I mean, I know that's a silly example, but it's
No,
one of the
it's
things
not.
that we kind of complement each other with.
Hmm.
So I mean, I can just it's a give and take pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, no. But no, I think that speaks to like how we were just talking about, compliment versus competitive. You know what I
Mm,
mean? because
Yeah, I
you're
don't think.
okay that, yo, she's better than me with money. I'm gonna let her handle that.
Yeah,
She's like, yo, he's
yeah.
better than me with this. I'm gonna let him handle that. You know what I mean? Some people don't have that. Some people that would be a total breakdown.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I
no,
mean?
I'm not afraid to.
Right.
I'm not afraid to be like, hey, you know what? I'll let her do that because that's what she's good at. I'm not trying to be better than her. I'm not trying to take that from her or anything. That's what she's good at. Hey, have fun.
Have at it.
Yep.
For real.
But yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I can see where I've actually seen people that it's a like that's like the whole thing where it's like, well, go ask for directions. No, I can't ask for directions.
Yeah, that's me. No, I'm just playing.
That's a fact right there. That's a fact.
I could barely get around work without my GPS. Oh snap!
uh,
All right, so where did we leave? Oh, the complimentary versus the competitive, and then just getting we got to get men and women back to a nature of like forming that union. You know what I mean? Because right
yeah,
now it's like
Yeah.
men over here, women over here. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
even know personally. I'm looking at the climate of today, and I'm like, damn, if I was a single dude, you know what I mean? Like, how do you even
Yeah.
approach a woman
It's
nowadays? Like, you know what I mean?
it's
Like, it's
tough.
like it would be
see
like, oh, like, hey, how you doing? Nah, get away from me, like, you
right. I was just about to say that. Um, I honestly really I encourage like all my female clients that I come into contact with and like anyone that I know, I always encourage them to go take a look at the manosphere as they call it on YouTube and stuff.
Mm,
Um, Women need to be able to come to a point in time and come to a term with themselves that ego, pride, and there was one more thing, but naturally we don't have that. Like competition comes from ego. We don't have ego. We have been programmed and conditioned to thinking that ego is a part of our nature, but it's not.
mm,
Tell a woman submission and that's immediately like a kryptonite, like how dare you, I'm not submitting. But it has to do with power. Like, we're having a power struggle right now. And the feminist movement has been strategically designed to be the system that pushed that, especially within our community. And, right now we're starting to see the results of the third wave, because the first wave had to do with, which, like I said, it was the women's suffrage. So they wanted to talk about, like, women's suffrage and the right to vote. And then in the 1960s, the second wave, that's where you had domestic violence. They were discussing women reproductive rights. So birth control and abortion came out of that. And then you have equal pay, because that was after World War II and we had to go in the workforce. And essentially, we saw what men were able to do. And we're like, hey, I want equal pay now, like, because I can do a man's job. And that's where we started gaining the momentum of like sexual liberation and things of that nature. Because when we put in birth control and we put in abortion, that essentially drove us to a point where we were removed of responsibilities of essentially of who we open our legs to, and it opened the door for us to basically have sex with who we wanted and wherever or however we wanted. You know what I mean?
mhm,
But naturally, that's not how we were programmed, because essentially a woman's not hardwired to desire multiple partners. That's why we force monogamy on men, because we're thinking you guys have to be hardwired like us because we could be monogamous. And we're like, men can't. They're dogs. They're this, they're that. When essentially we have to come to terms with, until a man decides to be monogamous, he's not necessarily programmed or hardwired to be monogamous. And that's thanks to testosterone.
mhm.
And there's so much scientific, data, statistics, journaling that we can actually read and see that it shows proof that this is what it is. But we're looking at it like, oh, that's hogwash. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going for that. And we have to understand that at some point we have to kind of throw in the towel, wave the white flag, and be like, you know what? This modern, society of Babylon that we're in, it's nothing but chaos and confusion. And why is that? And what people don't understand is the feminist movement was started by white women, okay? And they took on us black women to fight the fight with them. But after these women were rallying, they were going home to their husbands.
Mm,
Whereas after we were done rallying, we were going back home to no husband.
mm.
Then we have to take into the account that they created projects and welfare and all that during the 1960s. The 1960s was such a volatile point of the United States of America. And the United States of America is a corporation at the end of at the end of the day.
Yes.
Why are they going to continue to promote nuclear families when that is causing this corporation to only tax one person out of a household, whereas they can go ahead and push this feminist movement and women are equal to men and we could do whatever, I mean, anything you could do I can do better, type of momentum, when now we're leading with degrees, we're leading with the job force or whatever the case may be, how they're trying to project it to be. And now this corporation is able to tax two people, and the housing market is able to collect rent from two people rather than one. You know what I mean? People don't understand that this is a psychological warfare that's been put on us, especially as a Black community.
What happened? The government kicked her out. Oh, snap.
I was like, wait a minute, was that me again? I thought I did. I thought I lost
Now
it
the
again.
government kicked her out. The government kicked her out. She'll be back. If you're watching, click on the link and you will join again. Yeah, she
Oh,
was going
boy.
in. Government kicked her out.
So much technical stuff.
But,
Oh boy.
yeah,
It's one of those nights.
me and you will continue the conversation
Yeah.
until she comes back. Let me see. I think she just messaged. It booted me. I'll tell her click the link again. Click the link again. I don't know why when I type stuff I say it out loud at the same time. But all right, we're gonna wait till she gets back in. Big brother kicked her. Yeah, exactly. They're like, wait a minute. She's talking about how we're taxing people. Get her up out of here.
Oh man.
For real.
Sheesh. It's one of those nights. One of those nights.
One of these nights. You know what I'm saying?
That's all right. When you get that company credit card, we'll just have to do the whole studio up.
Yeah. Put it all on the credit card.
All of it.
All right, so damn. All right, we're gonna wait. I'm hoping that she can get back in. There she is. Hey man, you gotta be careful because when you start dropping knowledge like that, the government comes in and kicks you out the stream. For real. Hold on, we can't hear you. Hello? Let me see. It sounds weird. Say something? Hello? What? Let's see. Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kick you off the screen and then click the link again. I don't know if she can hear me.
I think she's having a service situation. If you see the bars on top of her name.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right. So what we're gonna do is, all right, she just bounced out. She's gonna come back. So Donnie, man, what the hell happened to your audio in the meantime?
Oh man, I don't know. I got a mic.
People was like, I jumped in. Everybody's looking. They're like,
I got a mic on the ground. I got a mic here. I don't know. So when we first jumped in earlier, I had no audio, but I could see you, right?
Yeah.
And then I came back the second time. All I had was audio, and it wouldn't load into the system. So then I restarted the computer, and my audio wasn't working again. And all of a sudden, audio started coming out of another screen that I didn't even know had audio. And I was like, I don't know what's going on.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So
yeah, we had a bunch of people coming through. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's back. Hello? Nope, we got no sound. You got bars, but we can't hear you.
You got bars.
Bars?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think it's possible that the melon system is down.
Yeah, because this has never been this strange before.
Yeah.
So like even it's weird. It's super slow.
Yeah, you're like in slow-mo. I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna kick her out, and then we're gonna wait. Tell her wait a minute. I'm gonna
Maybe is she connected to
Maybe,
Wi-Fi or
maybe.
not connected to Wi-Fi? Maybe
Oh, she
not.
jumped out. I think she's gonna come back. But yeah, so Donnie,
Yes, sir.
what do we talk about in the meantime while we're waiting? This is what I want to talk about, but you tell
Okay.
me what you want to talk about.
No, jump in. Go.
Let's see. All right, fingers
Hopscotch it.
crossed. Fingers
Let's
crossed.
hope this works.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Okay. I
There
don't
we
know.
go.
I
You're like a
don't know
little
what's
bit low,
going
but I'm
on,
gonna
but
turn you
let's
up
hope.
on this end.
Okay. All right. But we're good? You can hear me?
I can hear you. You're low. Is she low to you too or no?
It's a little different. I only hear on one ear, but
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I switch it. Uh,
I mean, we can still hear you. So I mean, it'll work. It's just it's only on one side, but I mean that's not that big of a deal.
Nah, it's not that big of a deal.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Perfecto.
Okay. All right.
All right. So before you left, you was talking about the
All right.
1960s, how they divided the families, like all that stuff that got you kicked off.
Yeah.
But yes, so yeah, I'm totally in alignment with all of that. You know what I mean? Because what they did,
Yeah.
like the saying is, like they took the fathers out the home, and then basically
Yes.
the government became the new daddy. Like you know what I'm saying? And people
Yes.
traded in the
Government daddy.
family, yeah, for the check every month type of thing. You
Hey,
know what I mean?
careful, they might kick us out
Yep.
again.
I know for real.
I know. It's the Moynihan scissors. I actually talked about this in my episode 2 on my podcast. And we're actually going through Moynihan scissors in real time, and a lot of women are not hip to it, and they really need to pay attention because right now is crucial. Because essentially, when we start talking about not having as much kids, like the opposite of baby, booming,
Yep.
in order for them to do that, they need to perform, ideologies, swaying our thoughts and, core principles and morals and things of that nature and desensitize it so that we can kind of fall in line with these methods that they have for us to not create any more, you know,
So are we talking about
babies and
population
stuff.
control at this point?
Essentially, that's what all of like the fourth wave of the feminist movement is in alignment with that agenda. Let's put it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I know that I don't think this wave is connected to like the feminist movement, but I know that there was a wave of hyper sexualization. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of
That's
of
all
everybody.
collected. That's part of wave 2 because the sexual
Okay.
liberation and the Jezebels, like,
Mhm.
we went from, because there was always like three types of women, and it was what, the Eves, the Jezebels, well, I'm sorry, in the black community you had the Miamis, which is the house, you fill in.
She better stop talking about stuff. We just keep
Oh
kicking her out,
no.
man. Just keep kicking her out. Hold on. She'll be back.
uh,
All right. Well,
all right. So what were you saying earlier?
um,
Trying to keep
I
two
forget, man.
conversations
I
going.
forget. All right. So yeah, we're gonna keep two conversations going, but no, we're not. But this is what we're gonna do. Sweet baby Jesus, my mind is like where what we were talking about.
I know because we
You
keep
know what I
getting
mean?
into something and then it
Yeah, I'm
goes
like,
away.
yo, so do 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 do. And she's like, yeah, da 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 da. Click. For real. We're gonna have to have her
Oh
on when she's in her studio, like you know what I mean, where
yeah.
her setup, so that way it's not crazy. But we'll wait and see if there she is. The audio's jacked again. This is crazy. We're gonna have to hold on. Well, thank you guys for rocking with us. You know what? Anybody who's still watching while we're going through this, thank you very much. Nah, we can't hear you. Oh man, you know what it is? It's a service.
Hmm.
All right, while she's working on that, Donnie, let's no. I'm gonna tell her to try to redo the link. I'll tell her she has no service. I don't know if she's gonna see it though. Let's see. I'm gonna send her a message. You have no service. Servisto, mamanito. Oh, Donnie, check it out.
What up?
My merch, baby.
Is that the one I tried ordering
Yeah, it's
that
what you trying
day?
to order. But mine
Yeah.
came in. Yo, stay free. Mind,
I
body, and
I
soul.
didn't
You know what I
actually
mean?
fully order it.
I know you didn't.
I know.
Jerk move.
I know. I was going to, and then something happened, and then you messaged me like 12
Mhm.
o'clock at night, and you're like, "Hey, I fixed it," and then I forgot about it.
You guys believe this guy?
At least that someone else is having audio issues too, because I thought I was, people were messaging me like, "Yeah, likely story, and on the show tonight," and I was like, "Whatever, whatever."
I was wondering. I'm like, yo, where'd Donnie go? Is he coming back? And then like you came in, I'm like, somebody must have reached out to him and said, yo, where the hell are you at, bro? You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Ooh. But
ooh. So, all right.
this threw us for a loop. But you know what? We're the UnCut Show, baby.
Let's
So check
go.
this out.
Just keep it going.
Yeah, we'll just keep it flowing. She's gonna come back. She'll be back. So what's been going on? And have you heard of anything worth talking about on tonight's show? In the meantime, what time is it, anyways?
Hey,
Okay.
do you remember last week we talked about Will Smith?
Yes.
Do you know that it's still going on?
Yeah. There's still like people. I know she came out and she was like,
Well,
"Oh,
no, it's not even that, but like they're doing an investigation, and there's a potential loss of his nominate or whatever that award.
oh no, I did see that. I did see that
Yeah, I mean it might not happen, but it could happen. They're investigating it.
investigation. I don't know. I think it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, no,
All
for
smoke
sure.
and
It's
mirrors.
it's just we actually paid him a lot of money. It's a thing for Uncut. They're making a commercial. That's why they did that.
Oh wait, Ben said audio for all of us is clean. So maybe it's just us
I
how
think
we're
that he
hearing our
sent that
iPad.
when
Oh, before.
she came back and it was better for a second.
Yeah, True 401 said, "Damn Wi-Fi." That Wi-Fi.
We need Elon Musk with that Starlink,
We need some Starlink Wi-Fi up in here, man.
even though you don't like Elon Musk.
Who?
You.
That's one of my idols, kid. I love Elon Musk. I'm going to Mars with him, bro. Actually, by the next time you come,
Matter of
so
fact,
next
hold
time
on
you
a
come to the
second.
basement,
Matter of
man,
fact,
and
wait
we're
a
chilling
second.
in the man cave, you're
Wait a
gonna
minute.
see a picture of Elon Musk on the wall, bro.
I'm pretty sure
And I'm going to Mars.
a couple episodes
Can you guys
before
hear me?
you said that you did not like him.
That wasn't me.
Okay, I'll bring it back.
Wasn't me. Hold on, Jay, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes. You seem low again, like last time. But
Ugh,
that might
this
be you because I can hear it pretty good.
you can hear it good. All right, so maybe that's my headphones. Don't listen to me.
I don't
okay.
know. Let's hear it from the audience. What do we
I'm so
got?
nervous to ask you a question because every time you get warmed up, you get kicked out.
Let's
For
make it
real.
I'm
non-governmental.
telling you,
So yeah, let's leave the word
it's
government out because
hard.
it's gonna keep kicking us out.
All right,
I don't think it's
But
that.
yeah,
I don't think
all
we'll
it's
say
right.
that.
we'll say Big Brother. Big Brother, yeah, it became the new daddy. You know what I mean? But you know what came up for me because you was talking about
What's
um the wave of the feminist movement, how they was out there, doing their thing, but then they went home to their husbands, and then we went home to nobody. You know what I mean? I think
yes,
that's present right now with the music industry in Hollywood.
yes,
You know what I mean? Because you
yep,
get these girls that make these songs about like, yo, I don't need no man, or like, Miss Independent, all this type of like stuff. But at the end of the day, they're married. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they go home
mm-hmm,
to a husband, but they're selling you records about how men are no good and how they don't need no man. You know what I mean? So you have all these
yes,
people that have that attitude towards the whole thing because they're following suit for someone who doesn't even live by what they're selling to you. You know what I mean?
yeah. But it's all made this way on purpose. And
Mm,
that's what I really wish most women understood, because in the third wave in the 1990s, the wave was simply dedicated to redefining what is femininity.
mm,
So with redefining femininity, they're saying it's no longer the soft energy, it's no longer the nurturing bone or aspect. It's no longer, being that sense of peace and tranquility,
mhm.
or being the help me. I mean, not the help me, the help me. Ooh, look at me. Ooh. But it was no longer that. They literally were saying, to be this feminine energy, you need to be essentially a boss babe, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And to be Miss Independent, to be single ladies, to be, all these things. But they knew that that's because if you can get, the large majority to follow this rhetoric, you're going to get them to essentially get that down the like command chain. And so, like I tell a lot of people, that's where you have my mom, who's Generation X, following suit with that ideology. And now I'm born 1990, and now I was born into that ideology rather than adapting that ideology.
Mm.
So now, me going ahead and being born into this, I'm thinking this is normal. Because how do you know what's not normal?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it took me, I was about 23 really when I really understood, okay, this is a problem. And by that point, I was already a single mom, two kids, two fathers, and my cousin, he was the one. I talk about this in episode 1 where he told me, he's like, okay, you've got two kids, two dads. He's like, you're in school for IT, but you say you're a wife, what are you doing to make it match?
Mm.
Because the math ain't mathing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to sit back and realize, like, how did I even get here? And then I really started doing some self-searching and, really, really like going down to the studs, like trying to figure this out. Cause I'm like, I thought this was normal. I thought this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought it would just all fall into place. And I realized I was suffering from what they call the Disney syndrome?
Mm.
So Disney had me believing I was a princess and everything was going to come my way.
Jay has that same problem.
Hey, whoa, hey, whoa.
But it affects both men and women because now we have men and women looking for the sparks and the butterflies in their stomach to let them know that this is the one for you. You know, it's giving you a very much false sense of what love is because loyalty comes and then love is formed.
Mm.
You have to give love. You have to give loyalty in order to get love. Because if you think about it, a man's loyalty is tested when he has everything, whereas a woman's loyalty is tested when he has nothing.
Mm.
So it's all about understanding that and staying the course. Now, when you understand that and you stay the course, what women are not understanding, and when I talk about the morning hand scissors being in real time, and I think I talked about this in episode 5, maybe 6, I don't remember. But essentially what I was explaining is that and I have this new theory that Benjamin Button, that movie, you guys seen it, right?
Oh, where he gets younger rather than older?
Yes. I truly believe that that was
I
an
have not seen that.
analogy to show a man's value. So if you think about it in the concept as an old man when he's born, no one's paying him any mind. Ew, like get away from me. I don't want nothing to do with you. But then when he comes into his prime, which is his financial peak and stability and resource, then that's when he has all these options in women? So that's my new theory on that. But to go back to what I was saying about the morning hand scissors, so essentially the morning hand scissors was developed in a report in 1965. Daniel Moynihan gave this report to President Lyndon B. Johnson and was like, listen, we need to fix this because if we don't, because he realized what was happening was even when the unemployment rate with black men was going down, usually what follows suit is the welfare rate going down.
Yo. Oh my God. Jae Slay. Every time we're about to get into something, just kick out the show. Yeah. All right.
Hey, what kind of show you running here?
What kind of technology do you have over here?
What do you
Listen,
got going on?
this was gonna happen because we're already at 8 o'clock, which was supposed to run for an hour. We're gonna have to do this again. I'm gonna have to talk to Jay, let her know. Oh, there she is. Hold on. You got audio? Oh no, we're back to the slow voice. It sounds like. Listen, I'm gonna kick you out one more time. Try to join back in, and then
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
kick
talk
you
about
out.
this real quick, and then we're gonna go. So I'm gonna kick you out, and then click the link again and come back in. Sorry, guys. Andrea said, "What up, girl?" Andrea said, "Where did she go?"
That's what we
That's
try
the
to
way
figure
to go.
out.
Where did she go?
It's
Nah,
damn
because every time
government.
we get into the conversation, it's kicking her out.
It's got to be a connection error somewhere. I don't know. Something's going on because I noticed like the website when I was first trying to come in, it was acting weird. So I think either our system, like the what we work through, is having an issue, or like it's like internet itself is like I don't know because
Acting
the
up.
rain. Maybe there's a storm somewhere. I have no idea.
Blame it on
I'm
the
just giving
storm.
everybody excuses. That's all.
I see you making up a whole bunch of
You see
excuses.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
True 41 said, "It's all good, man. Things happen." And that's real. Let's see if we can at least talk to Jay for a second. Hello? I said hello like I'm on the
Can
phone.
you
Yeah,
hear?
now,
Hello?
now we can hear you. I'm like, hello? Hey. So obviously we had a ton of kickouts and technical difficulties, which typically don't happen. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. But what I do know is this.
They don't want us to get people together.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So this is what we gotta do. And I'm gonna put it out here right now. But we gotta have you come back. But we gotta have you come back because you have like a full. I just seen your studio setup, like when you're doing your podcast and all that stuff, right?
It's at my
Oh, look,
salon.
it's right there. Nice.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out something where we can get the Wi-Fi rocking, because the people want to hear what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, "Yo, where'd she go? Like, what's going on?"
I know this is so frustrating because it's like I really want to really get this unpacked and for us to really get to the you know nooks and crannies of it.
Got you, got you. So let's do this. I think we need a part two if you're available.
Yeah, I
If you
can
can
make
get like
time.
we just need like a I would say if you get a computer with a solid Wi-Fi or a landline or something like that, boom, we're gonna jump in and then we'll just have this conversation from the beginning and touch all the areas that we dropped out on. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a
Okay.
very powerful conversation to be had, and there's so much I wanted to get to that we didn't get an
Yeah.
opportunity to get to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So can we exclusively say that we're gonna be here for part two
I
next
definitely
Wednesday?
agree. We gonna do it. We absolutely will do a part two. What happened was the Wi-Fi at my salon. Apparently it's like the one of the wires that everything's good on my end. Verizon needs to do something about it, but I need to call them because I had my cousin come take a look and he's in IT and he told me what I need to tell them is the
Gotcha,
issue.
gotcha.
Got it.
Yeah,
It
All right.
happens. It
but I'm gonna
So
try to
happens.
have it resolved.
we're gonna try this, and I'm gonna pray. You're gonna get through this. Don't worry. We always do a final
I
thought
mean,
at the end. Huh?
if we do Facebook Live, it should work. It's,
What do you mean? Like with all of us on there?
I think we lost her again.
No, come on. Did we lose again? Yep. It's a Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi.
All right.
Keep going.
She gone.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna orchestrate a part two. I don't know if it's gonna be next week or the week after. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna talk to Jay afterwards. Um, yeah, she said it hated on me again. Facts. Hey, listen, we're just gonna call you after this so we can figure out when's a good time to go ahead and do the thing. Do the thing. Um, Donnie,
What's up, buddy?
what's up, man? Hey, listen, I don't. Do you have a final thought? There was a lot of choppiness today. I have a final thought.
Oof.
So go ahead.
All right, no, you go ahead because I
Uh,
really don't have one. I only because it kind of bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So here's my final thought. My. Oh, Jay's back. Let's see. Hello. You got audio, Donnie? I can't hear, but can you hear it?
No, it's slow mo.
Yeah, it's slow mo. Aye. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna jump off, and then we're gonna jump on with you to figure something out for the future. Um, but I'll just do a quick final thought, man. And the final thought is this: uh, things aren't always gonna work how you imagine them to work. Things aren't always gonna go smoothly. You know what I mean? You're gonna run into hiccups. You're gonna run into technical difficulties. All of those things. But the most important thing is that you keep pushing. The most important thing is that you realize what the ultimate goal is, and you just keep moving forward no matter what's happening. You know what I mean? We pushed through this episode, Obviously, Donnie had issues in the beginning.
Yeah.
Jay had issues with the Wi-Fi. I had issues in the beginning, also getting the computer loaded up. There was a lot of things happening, a lot of plates spinning, but we came and we did it. And that's the most important thing. Don't be stopped. You know what I mean? Whatever happens, just keep moving forward. Whatever technical difficulties arise, whatever will appear to be a roadblock arises, man, just keep moving forward. Keep pushing forward. Don't be stopped by anything. We weren't stopped tonight, and we won't be stopped. If you guys want to catch, see, I wish Jay could come through and holler at you guys. But we're gonna post a link in the description of this video that has you can click on it and you can go over to Jay's YouTube page. You know what I mean? Slay Your Perspective, and you can watch our podcast. I think there's 6 episodes right now. 7. Okay. All right. So if you guys go over, you can check out the episodes. They're very, very powerful and informative for sure. So we're gonna say peace to you guys tonight, and then we're gonna hop on something with us, and then figure this whole thing out. All right. So everybody have a great night, and we'll see you guys for part 2, and we'll iron out the kinks. And we definitely appreciate you guys for coming through tonight. All right, guys. Peace. Oh. All right. Let me say one thing.
Come on, man.